Your man loves you so much, but he has another woman who is like a shadow stitched into the seams of your days, a whisper that clings even when he holds you with the warmth of summer sunlight. You do not always see her, but you feel her there, a presence behind the curve of his smile, behind the quiet pauses in his voice, behind the way his phone lights up when he thinks you are not watching. He swears his heart beats only for you, swears his arms are your shelter, swears that you are the reason he wakes and fights and dreams. And yet, there is that flicker, that undeniable trace of another life where another woman's name sits gently on his tongue. At first, you wanted to believe it was nothing. You told yourself that love, real love, was too solid to fracture under suspicion. You reminded yourself of the nights when he stayed awake just to soothe your storms, the mornings when he kissed your forehead before the sun had even yawned itself awake, the way he memorized the exact way you liked your coffee, 2 sugars, just a dash of milk. A man who pays attention to such small details, you thought, could not possibly belong to someone else. But love is strange. It can stretch wide enough to hold more than one, even when it shouldn't. And so you sit here, inside this fragile paradox, loved fiercely yet not wholly, chosen yet shared. She is not a phantom. She is real. A woman with her own laugh, her own tears, her own history carved into the bones of her being. You've seen her once, in passing, though he doesn't know. It was at the corner cafe, the one you both used to frequent before it became too painful for you to sit in places where you might bump into ghosts. She sat with him, her fingers brushing against his hand with the softness of something practiced, something long familiar. The way she looked at him made your stomach twist, because it was the same way you looked at him. And what cut deeper was the way he looked back. You told yourself then, in the ache that stretched across your chest, that maybe he could love 2 people in 2 different ways. Maybe the way he loves you is not diminished by the way he loves her. Maybe hearts are not finite cups but rivers, branching and flowing, feeding different valleys, nourishing different grounds. But if that were true, why does it hurt so much to know you are not the only one drinking from his river? The days since have been heavy with questions. Sometimes you imagine confronting him, pressing your palm against his chest, demanding to know how he dares to divide himself, how he dares to offer love as though it were bread to be broken and shared. Other times, you imagine leaving without a word, taking your silence as your answer, letting the empty space you leave behind speak louder than accusations ever could. But then he smiles at you, or he brings home flowers without reason, or he whispers your name in a way that sounds like prayer, and you wonder if maybe, staying is still worth it. Love has a way of binding even when it cuts. The other woman lingers in your mind at night. You wonder about her. Does she know about you? Does she lie awake too, asking herself why his affection sometimes feels divided, why his promises feel like glass held in trembling hands? Does she cry into her pillow the way you do, Or does she walk through this with the confidence of someone who believes she is the only one? You wonder if she believes in him more than you do. And then there are darker questions. Does she make him laugh in ways you can't anymore? Does she remind him of who he was before he met you, or does she show him a version of himself that you will never see? Is she softer, bolder, more daring, more kind, more everything? Comparison is a poison you sip even when you know it will burn your throat, and every time you imagine her, your heart clenches tighter, as though afraid to be found lacking. But here's the cruelest part: you still love him. And he still loves you. His love is not absent, not cold, not lacking. It is present and alive and sometimes overwhelming. He calls you when you're late, he remembers your fears, he celebrates your victories, he folds your pain into his arms as if it belongs to him too. He loves you. Of that, you have no doubt. And yet, that love carries the taste of something bittersweet, because it is not his only love. The human heart, you are learning, is both vast and fragile. It can hold oceans yet shatter with a single stone. You do not know how long you can bear this ocean, how long you can swim without drowning. Every time he tells you you're the only one, the words taste like honey laced with vinegar, sweet but burning down your throat. Every time he looks at you as though you are his world, you wonder if she feels the same look sear through her too. You tell yourself that one day, a choice will have to be made. He cannot belong wholly to two women forever. Hearts demand clarity, even when they pretend to endure uncertainty. One day, you will know if you are the woman he keeps or the woman he loses. But until that day, you remain here, tangled in the contradiction of being both cherished and betrayed, adored and deceived. And in the quiet moments, when his arms are around you and his breathing steadies yours, you sometimes almost believe the lie you tell yourself, that he is only yours. Almost. That night, you cannot sleep. His breathing beside you is steady, calm, as though nothing weighs on him. He dreams in peace while you lie awake, your body pressed to his, your heart thrumming against your ribs like a caged bird. You stare at the ceiling, and in the shadows you almost see her face instead of yours, her silhouette curled into the crook of his arm. You wonder if she has lain here too, if she knows the rhythm of his heartbeat, if she has felt the warmth of his skin against hers. You turn slightly, careful not to wake him. His hand twitches in his sleep, reaching instinctively for you even in dreams. That small gesture shatters you. How can a man who loves so instinctively, so unconsciously, also give pieces of himself away to someone else? The question keeps you company until dawn. When morning comes, you move through the motions as though everything is fine. You cook breakfast, eggs, toast, coffee, the familiar ritual grounding you in a reality that feels increasingly foreign. He joins you in the kitchen, hair tousled, eyes heavy with sleep, and wraps his arms around your waist from behind. Morning, love, he murmurs against your neck. The words should soothe you. Instead, they slice. You force a smile. Morning. He doesn't notice the tension. He never does when you're hiding it well. And perhaps that's your fault. You've trained yourself to wear serenity like armor, to conceal the war raging inside you. He kisses your shoulder, lets go, and sits at the table. As you place his plate in front of him, you want to ask. You want to let the words tumble out, raw and sharp. Who is she? Why do you let her hold a place in your life that belongs to me? But you swallow them back. Not yet. Not this morning. Instead, you watch him eat, and you wonder if guilt tastes like ash in his mouth, or if he has convinced himself there is nothing to feel guilty for. Later that day, when he leaves for work, you linger by the window longer than usual. His car disappears down the street, and you are left staring at your reflection in the glass, a woman who is loved but not alone in that love. The silence in the house grows unbearable. You grab your keys, your coat, and you walk. The city is alive with noise, people hurrying past, children laughing, cars honking, vendors shouting their wares. Yet beneath the noise, you feel a hollowness, as though the world has shifted slightly out of tune. Your steps carry you to the cafe. You tell yourself you won't go inside, but your feet betray you. The bell above the door chimes softly as you enter, and the smell of roasted beans and sugar hits you like memory. You half expect to see him there with her again, but the tables are occupied by strangers. Relief and disappointment twist together in your chest. You order a coffee and sit by the window, your hands wrapped tightly around the cup. For a moment, you allow yourself to imagine what it would be like if he were here with you, just you, no shadows, no secrets. The fantasy warms you, and then it burns. Excuse me, a voice says gently, breaking your thoughts. You look up. She is standing there. The woman. Her eyes meet yours, and for a moment, the world stills. You recognize her instantly, though you have never spoken. She is exactly as you remember, the curve of her smile, the softness of her hair, the calm way she carries herself. She looks surprised to see you, but not guilty. Not defensive. Just surprised. Mind if I sit? She asks, gesturing to the chair across from you. Your throat tightens. You want to say no, but the word won't form. You nod. She sits. For a moment, the silence between you is heavier than stone. I know who you are, she says finally. Your heart clenches. Do you? She nods. Yes. And I think you know who I am. You can only stare. Her voice is calm, almost soothing. I didn't plan this. Running into you. But maybe it's better this way. Maybe it's time. Your hands tighten around your cup. Time for what? She hesitates, then leans forward slightly. Time to stop pretending we don't both exist. The words hit like a slap, though her tone carries no malice. You feel anger rising, sharp and hot. You think this is normal? Acceptable? That he can just, I don't think it's acceptable, she interrupts softly. But I think it's real. And pretending it isn't real doesn't make it go away. Her composure infuriates you. How can she sit there, calm, collected, when your entire world feels like it's crumbling? Do you love him? You demand. Her eyes soften. Yes. The simplicity of her answer shatters you. No hesitation. No apology. Just truth, and he loves you? Yes, she says again. Your chest tightens until it hurts to breathe. You feel tears pressing against your eyes, but you refuse to let them fall here, in front of her. I don't understand, you whisper. How can he love us both? She leans back, her gaze never leaving yours. Because hearts don't follow rules. Because love doesn't always come in neat boxes. Because maybe he isn't strong enough to choose. Her words echo in your mind long after she leaves. You walk home in a daze, your coffee cold in your hands. The house feels different now, heavier, as though the walls know the truth too. When he returns that evening, smiling, kissing you, asking about your day, you feel yourself breaking. You can't hide it anymore. Where were you today? You ask suddenly, your voice sharper than intended. He blinks, surprised. Work, of course. Why? You stare at him. I saw her. His face pales. What? I saw her, you repeat, your voice trembling now. At the cafe. We talked. The silence that follows is deafening. He opens his mouth, closes it, runs a hand through his hair. Finally, he whispers, I didn't want it to happen this way. Rage surges through you. You didn't want what to happen this way? For me to find out? For me to know the truth you've been hiding? He steps toward you, hands raised as though to calm. I wasn't hiding it to hurt you. I didn't know how to choose. I didn't want to lose you. I love you. The words that once healed now burn. And you love her. His silence is answer enough. Tears blur your vision. Do you even realize what you've done to us? To me? To her? He reaches for you, but you step back. I never wanted to hurt you, he says again, voice breaking now. I thought maybe I could love you both. Maybe that was enough. You shake your head, anger and sorrow crashing over you. Enough for you, maybe. But not for me. Not for us. The room spins, the weight of betrayal pressing down, and you realize with chilling clarity that nothing will ever be the same again. The silence after his confession is unbearable. You can hear the clock ticking in the living room, the faint hum of the refrigerator, the steady rhythm of his breathing as he waits for you to say something. But words feel useless. None of them can carry the weight pressing down on your chest. Finally, you turn away. You walk into the bedroom, close the door, and let your body collapse onto the bed. The tears come then, hot and relentless, soaking into the pillow. Behind the door, you can hear him pacing, muttering to himself, maybe rehearsing apologies or excuses. But you don't care. You are drowning in the realization that everything you thought was solid is fractured. When he finally knocks softly, you don't answer. He tries again, voice quiet, pleading, "Please, let me in. Please, let me explain." Explain what? That he couldn't choose? That he thought he could split his heart in two and still keep it whole? That loving her didn't mean he loved you less, except it does, it must, because love divided is love diminished. You bury your face deeper into the pillow, refusing him. Hours later, when exhaustion pulls you under, you dream of standing on a bridge over rushing water. He is on one side, she on the other. Both are calling to you, both reaching out their hands. And you stand in the middle, frozen, unable to move, until the bridge cracks beneath your feet and you fall into the water, swallowed by the current. When you wake, the house is dark and quiet. He is gone. For a moment, panic surges through you. Where is he? Is he with her? But then you force yourself to stop. Obsessing over his movements will only shred you further. You curl back into yourself, trying to breathe, trying to remember the woman you were before him, the woman who did not measure her worth against someone else's shadow. The next day, he comes home with flowers. A pathetic gesture, almost insulting in its simplicity. Roses, red and vibrant, wrapped in cheap cellophane. He sets them on the table, his eyes searching yours, desperate for forgiveness. "I don't want to lose you," he says quietly. "You're everything to me." You laugh bitterly. Everything? Then what is she? He flinches, as though the word itself is a knife. She's someone I care about. Someone I didn't mean to fall for. It just happened. The phrase makes you want to scream. It just happened, as if love is an accident, as if betrayal is a stumble in the dark instead of a choice made again and again. You had a choice, you snap. Every time you saw her, every time you touched her, every time you lied to me, you had a choice. Don't you dare say it just happened. His shoulders sag. You're right. I don't have an excuse. I only know that I can't imagine my life without you. And with her, you press. His silence is your answer. That night, you lie in bed with your backs to each other. His presence feels like a wound, raw and open, and yet the thought of him not being there terrifies you. You wonder how love can be both poison and cure, how it can make you want to run and cling at the same time. Days pass in uneasy truce. You do not leave, but you do not forgive. He tries, small gestures, tender touches, whispered promises. But every time his phone buzzes, suspicion coils in your stomach. Every time he comes home late, you picture her, waiting, smiling, holding the parts of him you no longer trust. You think about calling her. The thought consumes you at times. To hear her voice, to ask her if she feels as broken as you do, to demand she let him go. But then you stop yourself. Why should the burden fall on her? He is the one who vowed himself to you. He is the one who broke that vow. One evening, unable to bear the tension, you finally speak, "Do you want me to leave?" His head snaps up, eyes wide with panic. No. God, no. Why would you even ask that? Because you can't have us both forever, you whisper. And maybe I'm tired of waiting for you to choose. He crosses the room quickly, kneels before you, takes your hands in his. His eyes are glassy, desperate. Please don't go. Please. I swear I'll fix this. I swear I'll choose. Just, don't leave me yet. The words are like shackles. Part of you wants to tear free, to scream that promises mean nothing after they've been broken. But another part, the part that still remembers his laughter in the early days, the way he looked at you as though you were the only star in his sky, clings to the hope that maybe, just maybe, he means it this time. You nod, though your heart is heavy. In the weeks that follow, you watch him carefully. He makes an effort, spends more time with you, leaves his phone face up on the table as though to prove he has nothing to hide. He plans dinners, surprises you with small gifts, kisses your forehead in the morning like he used to. It feels almost normal again. Almost. But doubt lingers. One evening, while he showers, his phone lights up on the nightstand. The name flashes across the screen, her name, undeniable. Your chest tightens. You tell yourself not to look. You tell yourself trust cannot exist if you go searching for proof. But your hand moves anyway. The message is simple. I miss you, 3 words, harmless to anyone else, devastating to you. Because they confirm what you already knew, she is still there, still waiting, still holding a piece of him. You drop the phone back on the table, your hands trembling. When he emerges from the shower, smiling, damp towel around his waist, you wonder how long you can keep doing this. That night, you don't sleep. Again, the image of the bridge returns. Only this time, he is the one standing in the middle, reaching out to both you and her, unwilling to let go. The bridge cracks, but he doesn't fall. You do. In the morning, you look at him differently. Not as the man who saved you once, who loved you fiercely, but as the man who cannot stand strong when it matters. You realize with painful clarity that maybe love is not enough. That maybe love without loyalty is just chaos dressed in poetry. When he kisses you goodbye, you let him, but inside, you are already packing. Not clothes, not belongings, but courage. Courage to face the emptiness, courage to face life without him, courage to stop being half of a whole that was never whole to begin with. And for the first time, the thought of leaving does not terrify you. It almost feels like relief.